Hey, Kuru and Nikki. It is Thursday, the 16th of January, and I am indeed back in Pendleton, Oregon. And today is sort of, I kind of am thinking of today as my first post-CTUIR employment day, because it's kind of, we're on vacation, and I kept on getting emails from and texts from people at work, which is a long story, but I don't think I'm going to tell it online. It's just not, I just don't feel like it's necessary to talk about that kind of stuff kind of in an open forum. But Kuru, you asked me about how my job interview went yesterday, and I'm going to make another video about that, but I'll just tell you in this video that the job interview didn't go because I didn't arrive home from Palm Springs until 5 o'clock yesterday evening. So I'll tell that story in another video. So you did ask me in a previous video about the necklace that I received, the choker, and I'm wearing it right now. I just kind of stuck it on, and it's a beaded choker, as you can see, that was hand beaded by probably, I don't know if it's a Umatilla tribal member or somebody else, but yeah, it's a hand beaded choker, and it's really cool. I like it a lot. The other thing I got were these moccasins. I don't remember if I showed you in the video, but these are the mocks, and I went and picked them up from the guy at the shoe store, and he put these materials on the bottom. Yeah, and I went in, and he was very friendly. Actually, I went in, and he was like, "You got your tab?" He gave me a little tab, and I was like, and actually the funny thing is that I had the tab yesterday, and somewhere in our travels I lost it. I kept it I keep a rubber band around my credit cards, and I keep my money in there, and at some point, I know I saw the tab when I turned in, actually I didn't see it yesterday, day before yesterday, when I turned in the key to our unit. It was still in there. When I got home, it wasn't. So anyway, he was like, "Well, I know who you are," and he gave it to me anyway, which was nice. Yeah, so this is the choker. That was the moccasins. You mentioned that. Yeah, I don't mind. As you said, there's a point at which customer service matters. It doesn't have to be cloying. But you also want to have some sort of sense that it's halfway decent. So you mentioned the straight razor, and I haven't watched the video from George, the New York barber. I did queue it up, and I'm going to watch it after this, but I didn't think there was much to talk about on that. But I did want to tell you that my dad used to shave with a straight razor, and I remember when I was I must have been 8 or 9 years old, and we had this house in Colorado. You went to that house in Colorado. We went and visited there when we were in Fort Collins, and there was a bathroom, and Linda had a room, and across the hall from Linda's room was a bathroom, and the doors kind of faced one another and opened opposite ways. And I had done something to annoy Linda at some point, or maybe Tom had done something to annoy me, I can't remember which, and one of us locked ourselves in that bathroom to keep the other child from beating us senseless, and so then whoever was out in the hallway tied the doorknobs of those two doors together with a string, so that basically locking the person in the bathroom. And I think it was me in the bathroom, but I'm not positive. Whoever it was in the bathroom opened the door and pulled it, and there was enough give in the string so you could just see that the string was out there. And so my dad's straight razor, even though I've never seen my dad clean shaven, I think he grew his beard like 6 months after I was born, and I have no memory of him ever not having a beard. He had a straight razor in the bathroom there, and yeah, you can guess what happened. I think it was me who reached out and tried to cut the string with the straight razor. I was unable to do it, but I did manage to break the straight razor into a whole bunch of little pieces, and my dad was really ticked off. Like I said, I'm not positive it was me who did it. I was involved, and I got, the wrath came down on me as well as the other kids. But that's my memory of a straight razor. Straight razor story. You asked about the rock formations in Joshua Tree that we were climbing on, and that's a granitic rock, and it's an old formation, and it's basically been weathered through mostly wind, chemical and wind, and basically the rock came up, and it's been dry and hot, and well, the temperature obviously varies on a daily basis, so what you get is these rocks that come up, and then you get occasional heavy rain, which washes away all the loose sediment, but then you get freezing and thawing, which breaks any cracks you've got, breaks them into pieces. But those big rocks, basically, they've been smoothed with wind, mostly. Wind erosion. So, yeah, those are granite rocks. Some sort of granitic, I should look it up just to be sure, but who cares, I'm BSing anyway. The crater that you talked about earlier was in fact a volcanic crater just south of Bend, and yes, it looked much more like a impact crater, but interestingly it wasn't. The sandals, no socks, but only when you're spending much time inside. Yeah, I understand that. And by the way, I was not watching soccer while I was talking in that last video. I was sitting next to Sarah and actually talking to Sarah. So I was a little distracted. You'll notice in some of my more later videos, I actually edited out some of the hems and haws just to try to make them a little tighter. We talked about football. Yeah, it's funny because I watched like 2/3 of the San Francisco Carolina game, and what I noticed was that Steve Smith, every time he caught a pass, turned around and yelled at the San Francisco bench and was jawing at them, and I quickly got sick of him. And actually, I don't know if you've watched Cam Newton, but Cam Newton just rubs me the wrong way, and I don't know what it is about him. Well, I do know what it is. It's that he celebrates everything, every completed pass, and it's all a very orchestrated, sort of posed. He's like a dancer doing a choreography after every event in a game, and it just makes me sick. And so I thought it was kind of funny the way Kaepernick made fun of him with his celebration. But yeah, I agree. I don't like Harbaugh at all. I don't know Kaepernick that well. But yeah, I was disappointed because Steve Smith's an old-time player. He's been around for forever. And I couldn't figure out why he was shouting at the 49ers sideline after every time he'd catch a pass. And and players were going after each other both ways. It'd be interesting to see what the Seahawks 49ers game is like this weekend. But I agree. I'm kind of rooting for a Seahawks Broncos Super Bowl, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, you seem to have an inability to understand my sarcasm in that video. Maybe it was because you couldn't see my face while I was talking. I cut in other footage over the top of it, but however that happened, it's too bad. I think that's about all. I mean, you mentioned, actually, the thing about I was being sarcastic about you mocking Nikki for wanting to care for her grandmother. And I agree completely with you, as you know, that I think being part of our loved ones' deaths is a very, very important thing, and it's a positive thing. I know a lot of people want to protect kids from that, and I don't think that it's necessarily healthy to do that. So yeah, I'm all for, especially, you know, like you say, when you've got somebody who's long lived and has lived a full life, and especially if they're ready, personally they feel ready to go. I think it's a positive thing to be involved in that. But it's when you say positive, it's like long-term. Sure. Anyway, it's a philosophical discussion I don't really want to open up right now. But yeah, basically, I guess that's all I've got to say. I'll make another video that talks about our trip home. Till I talk to you again, take care.